Today we're taking a look at these MLB matches, which are happening on Sunday, April 30th, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Baltimore Orioles vs Detroit Tigers. Spencer Turnbull is expected to get the game ball for the Tigers in the final game of this series. He lasted just 4 innings in a no decision against the Brewers on Tuesday night, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. The right-hander was not sharp in this one, as he also gave 3 free passes while striking out only 2. It took him 75 pitches to record 12 outs, which prompted the early hook from manager A.J. Hinch. He had a 4-2 advantage at the time but was not eligible for the win. It was not the best showing considering he was only able to go 4 innings, but it has been a lot worse for him this year. He will try to get back on track when he brings a 7.25 ERA and 1.66 WHIP into this tough home start against one of the best lineups in baseball. Spencer Turnbull is expected to get the game ball for the Tigers in the final game of this series. He lasted just 4 innings in a no decision against the Brewers on Tuesday night, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. He has not been particularly sharp this season, and the Tigers need him to soak up innings as they are dealing with injuries to their rotation. Kyle Bradish has been anything but sharp for the Orioles, holding a 6.30 ERA and 2.00 WHIP, and I think the Tigers can generate some offense in a low-scoring game. Detroit has been brutal from the plate this year, but they will wake up against Bradish and tag him early and often. Take the Tigers to win on the money line. The Tigers and Orioles played a 2-game doubleheader Saturday before this finale Sunday. Although both starting pitchers in this game have not pitched at a high level, the leash will be very short considering how poorly they have fared. Turnbull only threw 75 pitches and was yanked after 4 innings last week. Bradish recorded only 7 outs last week before being pulled. I expect a sluggish performance from both offenses here after 3 games in 2 days. Baltimore is off to an excellent start in 2023, carrying the momentum they had last year into this season, top 10 in runs, on-base percentage, and slugging. But this will be a boring, low-scoring soggy Sunday afternoon game. Take the under. Atlanta Braves vs New York Mets. Jose Butto is considered to be the 15th ranked prospect in the New York Mets system and has struggled this year, according to his baseball saving page. He is in the 1st percentile in strikeout percentage, 1st percentile in walk percentage, 2nd percentile in chase rate, and 13th percentile in ZERA. Butto has a 4-pitch arsenal: fastball, changeup, slider, curveball, and his slider has been getting hit as hitters are 3-4-8 with a .500 slugging percentage so far. This will be the first time that Butto pitches against the Braves, so it will be interesting to see how he attacks this loaded lineup. The ability to hit home runs is critical, and there is a massive difference as Atlanta is 3rd with 41 homers, while New York is tied for 19th with the Seattle Mariners with 27 homers, 10 of which were hit by Pete Alonso. Charlie Morton has been pitching incredibly well, while Jose Butto is making his 4th MLB appearance, so he does not have the resume to do well against top lineups. The Braves have won in each of the previous 5 games against the Mets, so go with the Atlanta Braves to pick up a win here. Our team pick is Atlanta Braves minus 1.5 runs. These bullpens have been doing decently well as Atlanta is 17th in the majors with a 3.88 reliever ERA, while New York is 12th in MLB with a 3.55 bullpen ERA up to this point. Another major reason is the fact these pitching staffs as a whole are doing well at limiting hits against them, as the Braves are 13th with a .236 opposing batting average, while the Mets are 15th with a .239 batting average against. All in all, go with the under to hit in this game as it makes more sense here. Kansas City Royals vs Minnesota Twins. The Royals have lost their previous 3 games, including an 8-6 defeat on the road at the hands of the Twins on Friday evening. Kansas City starter Jordan Lyles lost his 5th game of the season by allowing 7 earned runs on 7 hits in 4.0 innings and giving up 2 of Minnesota's 3 home runs. Trailing by 2 runs, the Royals loaded the bases in the 9th with 2 outs, but outfielder Nick Pratto struck out to end the game. Catcher Salvador Perez went 3 for 4 with a home run and 3 RBIs for Kansas City in the loss. Pratto also had 3 hits and knocked in 2, and outfielder Edward Olivares had 3 hits and doubled and scored twice for the Royals. The Royals staff struck out 10 Minnesota batters. Royals manager Matt Quatraro was removed from the game for arguing over balls and strikes in the 8th inning. Ryan's performance against the Royals in his career cannot be overlooked. He is a perfect 5-0 with a 2.81 ERA against them in his 30 innings pitched against them. He has won both of his starts at home versus Kansas City, allowing a combined 2 earned runs on 6 hits with 15 strikeouts. The Royals managed to win only 2 games out of 10 at Target Field last season and have lost both games of the current series thus far. They were swept 4-0 and 3-0 in their prior 2 series there. The Twins batted .321 against Kansas City pitching at home last season. The Royals have lost 9 straight games on the road against the Twins, and they were shut out in 3 of their last 7 games. The Minnesota pitching staff limited Royals batters to a .210 batting average, with a .301 slugging percentage at Target Field last season. The Twins won 2 of 3 versus the Yankees at Target Field earlier this week and are 5-1 in their previous 6 games at home. The Royals have lost 5 of their last 6 games on the road. The Twins swept the Royals on the road in their 3-game series earlier this season. Most signs point to a victory for the Twins at home with Ryan on the mound Sunday. Take Minnesota. The Royals have pushed or gone under the point total in 5 of their previous 6 games on the road, and they have scored 4 runs or less in 4 of their last 6 games. Kansas City batters struggled at Target Field last season, batting only .210 with a .2690 BP, and they managed only 1 run in the first game of the current series. They struck out 96 times in 329 at-bats in 2022. The Royals were shut out twice in their 3-game series with the Twins earlier this season, and they were shut out 3 times on the road by Minnesota in 2022 as well. Kansas City ranks low in several key offensive categories, including 28th in runs scored per game, 3.28, and 28th in batting average, .219. The Twins staff is currently ranked 6th in the league in ERA, 3.46. The Royals rank low in home runs per game, 27th, .72, and Minnesota pitchers are ranked 9th in home runs per 9 innings, 1.01, so the odds of Kansas City scoring in bunches on the long ball against Ryan are very low. Most signs and stats point to a lower scoring affair between these 2 teams on Sunday. Take the under 8 runs. Tampa Bay Rays vs Chicago White Sox. Throughout the first month of the season, the Tampa Bay Rays have been the best defense in the majors, with an .847 ops, while scoring 6.21 runs per game in that span. First baseman Yandy Diaz, .994 ops 7 HR, has been clicking at the plate, and this entire team is hitting well and providing ample run support for the team to continue racking up wins. The Chicago White Sox have been doing awful at the plate throughout the season, as well as they are 27th in the sport with a .661 ops, while scoring 3.79 runs per game up to this point. They have not been hitting well at all, as they have a team .229 batting average throughout the first month of games. Center fielder Luis Robert Jr., .655 ops, 33 so, has been struggling at the plate this season, and if he can get going, this White Sox team can begin to try to get back to .500 on the year. After Luis Robert Jr. was pulled after not hustling out a ground ball to the pitcher in the first inning yesterday, there is the potential that the White Sox dugout does not respond well. Drew Rasmussen has been doing well, while Mike Clevenger's 4.81 ERA is not going to play against the top lineup in baseball this season. Tampa Bay is obviously the better team in this matchup as they have won each of the previous 5 games against Chicago, so go with them to win this game once again. Our team pick is Tampa Bay Rays -1.5 runs. We just saw both of these lineups neutralized last night, so what is going to change in the less than 24 hours between games? Neither team has been very patient at the plate, as Tampa Bay has recorded 87 walks as a team, which is tied for 19th in baseball, while Chicago is 28th with 70 walks as an offense. The under is 11-4-1 in the Rays' last 16 games against the AL Central, as well as hitting in each of the previous 4 White Sox games against right-handed starting pitchers, so take the under to hit. Cincinnati Reds vs Oakland Athletics. Cincinnati enters this game coming off a series sweep of the Rangers in their previous series and having taken the first 2 games of their current series against the Athletics, marking their 5th straight win. In their most recent 3-2 win, Hunter Greene got the start for the Reds and tossed 5 innings, allowing 5 hits and 2 runs, with none of those runs being earned, while striking out 10. From then on it was a bullpen game for the Reds, with Casey Legumina getting the win later on in the 8th and Alexis Diaz picking up his 4th save on the season in the 9th. On the offensive end, the Reds did just enough to squeak by the A's, totaling 9 hits and 3 runs in the game. Spencer Steer had the team's only multi-hit game going 2-4, while the bottom of the lineup did the heavy lifting, with Luke Maile and Jake Fraley tallying the team's 3 RBIs, courtesy of Fraley's 2-out, 2-run, pinch hit double in the top of the 9th. Overall, this was a great win for the Reds and a real momentum builder as they got their 5th straight win and have another chance at a sweep. Oakland enters this game having lost their previous 4-game series against the Angels and having lost their first 2 games of their current series against the Reds. In their most recent 3-2 loss, Kyle Muller got the start for the Athletics and tossed 5 innings, allowing 5 hits that resulted in only 1 earned run, while striking out 3 and walking 2. From the on, it was a bullpen game for the A's, with Domingo Acevedo, Richard Lovelady and Zach Jackson all recording holds, with Juris Familia blowing the save and getting the loss in the top of the 9th. On the offensive end for the A's, it was a solid performance tallying 7 hits and 2 runs in the game, but it unfortunately wasn't enough to come away with a win. Jordan Diaz had the team's only multi-hit game, going 2-4 with an RBI, while Aledmys Diaz was responsibly for the team only other run going 1-1 with an RBI. 3 batters went hitless in the team's backbreaking 3-2 loss in Game 2. Taking the Reds to win this game for a couple of reasons. I hate to use this as a selling point, but it is the Oakland Athletics. These teams have been quite literally the opposite of late, with the Reds winning their past 5, while the Athletics have lost their past 5, including their game yesterday, where the A's managed to blow the game in the top of the 9th. The team just doesn't have it. The Reds have a pretty clear advantage on the bump starting Nick Lodolo, while the A's give Ken Waldichuk the start, who has posted a 0-2 record, along with a 7.82 ERA and 1.74 WHIP in his first 5 starts. The A's also have little to no offense, while the Reds have found ways to put the ball in play and scrap across runs. In terms of trends, the Reds are 4-0 in their past 4 interleague games and are 5-0 in their past 5 interleague games against a left-hander. Meanwhile, the Athletics are 0-4 in their past 4 Sunday games, are 0-4 in their past 4 Game 3s of a 3-game series, and are 0-5 in their past 5 games against a team from the NL Central. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the Reds to win this game and extend their winning streak to 6. Our team pick is Reds money line. Taking the over in this game for a couple of reasons. Despite these teams going under in their game yesterday, there is reason to believe Game 3 might have a little different narrative. The starting pitching matchup is one that is vulnerable to allowing runs, with Nick Lodolo towing the bump against Ken Waldichuk. Lodolo got rocked in his last start and has posted a cumulative 6.31 ERA and 1.87 WHIP in his first 5 starts, while Waldichuk has posted a 7.82 ERA, along with a 1.74 WHIP in his first 5 starts. We have also seen the inconsistencies of both bullpens throughout this series, further encouraging the over. Especially with this total being set relatively low at 8, I prefer this much more than if it were to be set at 8.5 or 9. In terms of trends, the Reds have gone under in 4 of their past 5 road games, with a total set at 8 or higher, while the Athletics have gone over in their past 6 games against a left-hander and have gone over in their past 4 games against a pitcher with a WHIP higher than 1.30. For these reasons, I am confident in taking the over for this matchup. Our total pick is over 8 runs. St. Louis Cardinals vs. Los Angeles Dodgers. St. Louis is concluding its road trip with a 3-game set against the Dodgers in LA, and in Game 1 they were blown out. As this is written before Game 2 ends, in Game 3, the Cardinals are giving the ball to right-hander Jake Woodford, who's 1-2 with a 5.47 ERA this season, while on the road this season, he's 0-1 with a 4.50 ERA. In his career, he's 9-6 with a 3.90 ERA, while as a pitching staff, St. Louis has a team ERA of 4.49, which ranks 22nd. The Dodgers will be starting right-hander Noah Syndergaard, who's 0-3 with a 6.58 ERA to begin the season, and at home, the righty is 0-2 with a 3.00 ERA, as in 3 starts, he's gone 18 innings, allowing 6 runs on 15 hits and striking out 17. In his last start, he allowed 7 runs over 4 innings against Pittsburgh. In his career against the Cardinals, Syndergaard is 2-3 with a 4.10 ERA, and as a pitching staff, the Dodgers have a team ERA of 4.65, which ranks 23rd. I like the Cardinals as the underdogs here in the final game of their West Coast road trip on Sunday. Syndergaard has struggled this season and was shelled by the Pirates and Diamondbacks, who have just okay lineups, which is a concern. Woodford, meanwhile, has pitched very well against a Dodgers lineup, as he has kept most of them from recording a hit. Although going through the order at least twice will likely lead to more runs and hits, the righty has pitched well this season. Syndergaard, meanwhile, has had trouble with his command, and I expect the Cards to take advantage. To me, this is a pick'em game, so to get plus 115 on St. Louis is the way to go. Take the Cardinals money line. I also like the over 10 runs in this game, as I do expect Syndergaard's struggles to continue, while the Dodgers lineup can score plenty of runs at a time. This season, St. Louis is 12-14-1 in hitting the over, but Los Angeles is 16-10-1 in hitting the over. In Syndergaard's last 5 starts, the games are averaging 11.2 runs per game, while in Woodford's last 5 starts, those games are averaging 10 runs on the dot. Finally, in St. Louis's last 10 games, the games are averaging 9.9 runs per game, while Los Angeles's last 10 are averaging 9 runs per game, but this pitching matchup should lead to more runs. Take the over 10 runs.